Hello and welcome back to the High Altitude Investing live stream. Today, we are obviously going to be talking about crypto. We have a new all-time high on Bitcoin. Very exciting, very bullish looking for the full crypto markets. And we're going to be talking about some exciting stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and share the links here in Discord for the live stream and on my X account, and we'll get started with some Bitcoin analysis and run over all of your favorite coins like we always do. So it should be a really good day. Super excited to be live streaming and talking about crypto on this awesome cryptocurrency pump that we're experiencing right now during this amazing pump. What is up, Arthur? Good to see you tuning in. Boom. Welcome to the stream, Charts Chasers. Thank you for taking a minute to tune in to today's stream. Enjoy life. Welcome. Peace, unity, love, and having fun. Let's go. Yes, I know the bull market is back. It's very exciting to see crypto pumping as hard as it is. And I think big things are coming. Jeremy, what's up, my brother? It's good to see you tuning into today's live stream. Welcome. Enjoy life. XRP explode. Yeah, I do think XRP will explode. I completely agree. We're starting to see that already. And it's very, very exciting. So let's go ahead and start off with Bitcoin as always. And then we'll talk a little bit about all of your favorite coins. So be ready for making your requests and dropping your requests in the live chat. So here with Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin did break bullish as planned. We were looking at a bullish flag pattern in the previous live streams and talking about how we had a breakout and a retest of that kind of medium line right here in the middle of the flag, and that we're expecting a bullish breakout on Bitcoin. And that's exactly what happened. Bitcoin broke out bullish here with a lot of strength and a lot of confidence and went all the way up to $118,000 per coin. So new all-time high on Bitcoin. Very exciting, very bullish, and this really shows that the Bitcoin markets are getting ready for some very big things. The crypto markets are getting ready for some very big things. Bitcoin going full force in its bull market, going as planned with mass adoption, which I've been talking about for quite some time now. We've been talking a lot about mass adoption and how mass adoption is going to have a very positive effect on the crypto markets as a whole, including Bitcoin, of course, because it's the first and it's the oldest and it has a lot of institutional money behind it. So Bitcoin breaking bullish here is really only the beginning of something very big for the crypto markets. And for all the people out there that think that the crypto markets are going to go down, for all the people out there that are trying to call the top, I just have to tell you guys, you got to stop being stupid, okay? The trend is your friend. It's going to continue up. Don't be an idiot. This is seriously the opportunity of a lifetime right here, right in front of your face, to completely change your life financially, to make a bunch of money, and to come out super, super wealthy. And a lot of people are just going to be dumb and they're going to sell early and they're going to lack confidence and belief and faith that the markets are going to go up, and it's going to screw them over. So if you want to play these markets and make a lot of money, don't be an idiot. Just play the trend. Bitcoin is clearly in a massive uptrend, and that trend is going to continue. We just got started here with Bitcoin. So big things are definitely coming for Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoin markets as well. So that's kind of My view on Bitcoin, expect continuation, expect more upside of this bull market. We're just getting started. I know $118,000 per coin sounds very, very high, but imagine 400K, or imagine even higher per coin. And a lot of people say, well, if Bitcoin hits $400,000 per coin, altcoins are going to go to zero. But historically, that's not true. Bitcoin always shows strength at the start of every bull market, and then Bitcoin not only continues to increase in value, but the altcoins go even crazier because people are thinking in terms of risk on. So for all of the people in my comments that are like, hey, Dallin, if Bitcoin goes to 400K, your altcoins are going to go to zero. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. You got to wake up and realize the truth and the fact that Bitcoin always leads in dominance at the start of the bull market. And then once the bull market goes full force, which we're starting to see, then altcoins go crazier. They do a bigger percentage gain than Bitcoin. And that's just the truth, so take it or leave it. All right, cool. So yeah, start dropping your requests for altcoins and we'll start covering all of your favorite altcoins. Let's pull up Ethereum here. So yeah, Ethereum broke bullish as planned. We were talking about in our previous live stream the Elliott wave impulse count here on the smaller time frame, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our ABC correction down right here, and expecting a bullish continuation of this trend, because all of that is wave 1 and wave 2 for a bigger Elliott wave set. So if you don't understand Elliott wave theory, basically the way that it works is there's major waves and there's subwaves. So these are all of the subwaves of a new major wave, or a larger degree Elliott wave, coming for Ethereum. So this will be wave 1, wave 2, and then we'll be expecting wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 coming in this market very soon. So we've already started to see wave 3 as we break above the top of wave 5 right here. And I expect continuation of this trend on Ethereum and of this reversal. You guys, I've been telling you that Ethereum was going to see a reversal like since down here, letting you know this market is going to explode. This market's going to turn around. It's going to fully recover. It's going to break out to a new all-time high. I've been saying this for so long now. I've been telling you guys Ethereum was going to be breaking out to a new all-time high since down here in 2018. In fact, I was here in 2016 or 15, one of the two, when Ethereum got added to Poloniex and it dropped down to 40 cents per coin. So you have to understand that I've been watching these markets for a long time. I know how they move. I know how they work. I know the structure, the psychology that goes into these markets. And Ethereum is going to go crazy. It's going to keep breaking out. It will break out up above its old all-time high. I firmly believe that we will see a very strong breakout up above our old previous all-time high on Ethereum, and a huge run in this coin. This is, if you thought that $4,800 per Ethereum was the highest Ethereum will ever go, I'm here to tell you it's extremely likely you're very wrong. Ethereum could go to 10,000, 20,000, or even higher per coin. So definitely in the bigger picture and on the smaller time frames, Ethereum is looking very, very bullish. All right, cool. I know I made a bunch of people mad because they're all a bunch of bears right now. Everybody's being all bearish and all newbie. There's so many people out there right now that are just making the stupidest choices. They're selling their crypto, they're watching the news, they're all bearish, and the markets, look, they're breaking out exactly as I said that they would. Right at the point of maximum FUD, maximum fear, maximum, everybody was afraid, everybody was expecting further downside in the markets, and look what happened. The markets fully recovered, and we're starting to see strength coming back into the market. So you seriously have to stop being stupid, stop watching the news, stop believing the FUD, and buy the dip. Okay? That's what you got to do to be profitable in these markets, and that's what we're seeing the fruition of everything I've been saying for this entire recent correction that we saw in the markets, and we're recovering with strength and with confidence. Cool. Enjoy Life says we are not even started. I agree 100%. You guys, crypto is a revolutionary technology. Think of what happened to the wheel, okay? The wheel started out by being pulled just literally by people and then by horses and oxen. And now we have cars, and then the same kind of design of a wheel spinning got turned into a propeller, and now we can fly. So imagine just that spinning action of a wheel, right? So imagine what's going to happen to technology in the future, right? Crypto right now is in its very early stages, but there will be a day where instantaneous transactions, all of your taxes, all of your, what I would like to see and what I believe will happen, there will be a day, and it would be really cool to see this happen, where all of your transactions are instant, they're all decentralized, all your taxes are automatically tracked, it's easy to do, all your investing is automatic and easy to do. Crypto has the power to completely revolutionize the entire world. And I believe that's what it will do over the long term. Imagine the evolution of crypto as a technology. So yeah, we really are just getting started, even though it's going to have its cycles, it's going to have its bull markets and its bear markets like everything does. But crypto as a technology is really just getting started, you guys. All right, H-bar going crazy. Let's check out H-bar here. You have to understand that the entire world is in a state of constant development and improvement. There is, I mean, if you look at the past, go live 300 years ago, you know. Like, yeah, we have our challenges, we have stuff going on today, but imagine how much innovation has happened in 300 years. Okay, so when you're thinking about crypto and stuff, I like to use these bigger time frames, 15-day, 1 week bigger time frame, because of the fact that you have to be thinking long term. You can't be just so focused on the present moment that you miss the bigger picture of what's happening in life. And that is 100% true for crypto. It will change the world. I firmly believe that. Alright, so H-bar is breaking bullish out of a bullish flag pattern. So this is exactly what Bitcoin was doing earlier before Bitcoin broke out to a new all-time high. So you can see H-bar kind of following Bitcoin as money is coming back into the Bitcoin markets and people are getting excited and a little bit more confident in the crypto markets. So yes, I do believe H-bar will continue to break out bullish here and break bullish out of this bull flag and break out up above this local resistance level right here, 41 cents, and go for a new all-time high or local high, because I don't think this is a full chart on Coinbase, but a new local high for sure above 40 cents right here. So H-bar is looking very bullish. XRP, yeah, let's pull up XRP. So XRP is one of those coins that you can see is breaking out bullish, exactly as planned, exactly like what we were talking about in my last live stream. XRP is breaking out very, very bullish right now with a lot of strength and a lot of confidence. You can see that we have over 27% increase in a single 8-day candlestick, which is pretty impressive here for this coin. The reason that this is breaking out and what we were talking about previously in my last live stream is because of the falling wedge pattern. So there's a falling wedge here on XRP, and this is wave 1 and wave 2, and we're breaking out for wave 3. So this breakout right here is the beginning of something big, like really big. Like we're going to see something very, very, very vertical for crypto. Straight vertical. If you feel like you missed this right here, get ready for what comes next, because what's coming next for crypto is going to be way bigger than that first initial impulse. The early on in the trend is really where things are kind of not very exciting. So imagine as the bull market progresses and as the trend continues to get more exciting, we will see a lot of vertical action. And that vertical price action is going to be very, very parabolic. And wave 3 in its very nature has to be bigger than wave 1. So this is wave 1, wave 2. So wave 3 is going to be more impulsive, more vertical than wave 1 was in nature. And that's the rules of LA waves. So be ready for something big coming for XRP. Litecoin is so undervalued, it is insane. Yeah, the whole crypto markets are undervalued. It's crazy, man. People have it all backwards. They're thinking, man, this stuff is so... We're in a bubble right now. Crypto, look, Bitcoin hit 118,000. We're in this bubble right now. Everything's so overvalued. Everybody has it completely backwards. And what do you think? Of course, they're all going to have it completely backwards, because how many people do you know that just successfully trade markets? You know, most people are going to get it wrong because they don't understand the basic nature of the way markets work. And with Litecoin, I completely agree with you. Litecoin is extremely undervalued. Litecoin, I believe, is getting ready to do exactly what Nvidia did right here, where it goes into a mass adoption phase and goes parabolic and vertical. So be thinking big picture, you guys. That is how you're going to make money in these markets. Baby Doge, please. Yeah, let's pull up Baby Dogecoin. Baby Doge. Oh man, crypto is so funny. The names of these coins. Let's pull up on Dex Screener, because I bet we'll have more data if we pull up on Dex Screener. Baby Dogecoin. Liquidity. This looks like the right one. And here we go. go to the weekly candlesticks and get a full chart here. So this is what accumulation looks like. This is why most people don't make money. All right? Because look, this happened 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 3 years of choppiness. Look at this. Just chop, 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 chop. Right? Most people they don't have the patience to be able to hold through that kind of a move. Right? They just don't have the patience to do it. But if you do have the patience and you're looking at the bigger picture like I've been talking about, then you are able to hold through this kind of movement and you're able to make a lot of money. It's either you have to hold through the accumulation phase or time it perfectly. And timing the market is way harder than just having time in the market and letting the market do its thing. Because if you believe it's going to take off and you believe that there's enough volume for it to take off and a good reason for it to, then just trying to have money in the market is always going to be a way simpler strategy than trying to time the market. Now, with that being said, we are in a massive accumulation pattern right here on baby Dogecoin, and I do believe we will break bullish out of this accumulation and see a parabolic run, and one indication of this is our volume spikes that we see right here. It's pretty much the same as when we first got started over here. So that's an early indication that we could see a parabolic run. Very similar to what we saw with SPX 69,000, which by the way is breaking out for wave 3 like we talked about in our previous live stream. But if you look at it early on, it just accumulated. You can see early on there was a lot of choppiness, a lot of accumulation, and people, they give up when it's doing that, when it's not exciting. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get this huge vertical run and a parabolic move. And now for SPX 69,000, for the people that are wondering, this coin is in wave 1, 2, and we're breaking out for wave 3 as we speak. Just exactly as planned. So this is looking very good for this coin. And by the way, just to teach you a little bit about Elliott waves here, you can see that we have an expanded flat correction right here. So actually, interestingly enough, this is called SPX 69,000, but the actual S&P 500 it's just so funny to me. The actual S&P 500 also did an expanded flat correction before going parabolic in wave 3. So here's the S&P 500 stock, and here is SPX, the meme coin, SPX 69,000. And you can see right here we have an expanded flat correction, and we have an expanded flat correction on SPX as well. So, but yeah, baby Dogecoin looking bullish, SPX looking bullish, and it's just funny to me that it did the same fractal as the S&P 500, which is also labeled SPX, the ticker, right? Same ticker, it's just one's a crypto and one's a massive indice for the US stock market. So that's just kind of funny to me. But Rico says, good day, buddy. Can you check Kita for me? Thanks, Dallin. Yeah, let's check out Kita. Might have to hop over to Deck Screener. Kita. Here we go. Yeah, so this started to go parabolic here. This is looking pretty good. You can see that we've started an uptrend here, And this is probably wave 1 and wave 2, so I wouldn't expect any further downside I wouldn't expect anything like this to happen where we come back down to support. Instead, I'd be watching for a breakout like this, wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3. Very similar to what we were just looking at with SPX 69,000. So, or 6,900. So you can see that that's a pretty bullish kind of structure here to have wave 1, wave 2, to have an uptrend forming here. And typically, if you have this kind of trend forming like this, they will continue if it's not a pump and dump. So you can see this is over a longer period of time, like from March, April, June, July. If you see an uptrend like this and it's like on the daily candlesticks on DEX Screener, it's probably a total pump and dump and the trend probably won't continue. But some of the key signs that you can look for, this has $362 million in market cap. So there's a community behind this. It's not just a pump and dump on a daily time frame. This is over a bigger picture cycle that it's forming. So the trend likely will continue and go higher. And let me just show you what I mean by this. So we're on the weekly time frame, and you can see that we have a pump here. We have a pullback, and we have a large market cap, and we have good liquidity and volume. So KETA will likely continue to increase in value. It's a real trend. Now, but if we go over to DEX Screener right here, and we just click on 24 hours, for example, and we find this coin worthless / Ethereum, okay? You know, and you look at this coin here on the daily candlestick. So now we're on the daily candlesticks. Do you see how this is just pumping straight up? And yeah, it could pump higher. It could go a little bit higher, but there's no long-term established trend to this. The market cap is 734,000 per coin. The liquidity is relatively high, but the thing is there isn't a multi-month. There's no multi-month trend to look at. So we're just looking at on the daily that this thing is up 8,000% in 24 hours. The likelihood of this thing dumping is like 99%. You know, once it tops out, wherever it does, the likelihood of this coin dumping is like 99%. It's a total pump and dump. So look for those coins that have market cap. Can actually be a good thing because it can show community, right? So look at those coins that have bigger, more established trends on bigger time frames rather than just like up 8,000% in 24 hours. These are the coins that people buy and then they get wrecked. It drops 90%. But if you can get on a weekly time frame and you can see like a more established multi-month uptrend forming, then you can buy that. And if there is, you know, a little bit of liquidity and a community behind it and a good looking chart, you have a really good chance of making a lot of money. Again, for example, like SPX 69,000, right? If we go back over to that coin, SPX 69, I keep saying 69,000, but it's really only 6,900. But yeah, this right here, and if we go back to DEX Screener because it has all of the data here, you can see that this is over multiple months. In fact, this one's over 2 years. So this is an established meme coin. This is not just a pump and dump on the daily. These are the ones that you can invest in with a lot less risk and a lot higher reward. SPX 69 or 6,900 is a perfect example of a meme coin that you can trust. And KETA also looks very similar. KETA has a similar kind of structure, maybe not quite as big of a market cap, but that could mean that you could have a bigger percentage gain as well because of that. But this is a good looking setup as well. Multiple months of trend, not multiple years, but multiple months of trend. It's not just a pump and dump on the daily. So I hope you guys learned something from all that, because it will help protect you from buying those pump and dump coins. People all the time get in these Telegram groups and these Discord groups, and they just buy anything that somebody says is going to go up a whole bunch, and most, like 95% of those coins are just pump and dumps on the daily candlesticks, and they're just going to die. So you have to zoom out and find those ones with bigger market cap, a little bit more established trend. AJ says, will I do Bell's USDT? Yes, I will, and thank you for the donation. I appreciate that, my friend. I always appreciate it when people are generous and kind and donate to my live streams. So let's pull up Bell's coin. Bell's coin USDT. All right, cool. So, all right, let's take a look at this here. So we do have a double bottom forming. At first, I thought that we'd have a double bottom like this, where we'd break out bullish of this double bottom. But it looks like we're forming a bigger double bottom here with Bell's coin. So we have our first low here and our second low forming here. So watch for bottoming structure. We're already starting to see a little bit of strength coming in on this coin as we're breaking out of our wedge right here. We have a bit of a wedge, a little bit of a triangle pattern right here, and we're breaking bullish out of that triangle right now. So we're starting to see some strength coming into this coin. So be watching for a double bottom pattern, a bigger double bottom than what we were first looking at, because we did pull all the way back down. But that could lead to a bigger pump as well as a result of that. So this double bottom pattern looks very nice. I love this setup. These are very common patterns appearing in the crypto markets. And if we go out to the let's go to like the weekly time frame and take a look at what's happening here, you can see this coin is extremely oversold. Very, very, very oversold on the MACD. We had a bullish cross over here back in April of 2025. So we had a huge bullish cross, and it can take time for the fruition of that to happen. So a bullish cross is when that blue line crosses up bullish through the orange line down here. That's what a bullish cross is. And you can see on the weekly candlesticks, we did have a bullish cross on the MACD, and that's a very, very strong buy signal for Bell's coin. And a lot of times people will see a chart like this, but something that's kind of cool to look at, if you pull up, well, I mean, even Nvidia is a fairly similar fractal of accumulation to Bell's coin here. But the one I wanted to show you is actually GameStop. So if we pull up GameStop over here, GameStop Corporation, and you take a look at GameStop here, you can see how the market can look so dead. Like it can look just completely dead. Nobody cares about it. It's dumping. It's pulling back super hard. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, you get this huge parabolic pump and a vertical run. And Bell's coin looks very similar to GameStop or even Nvidia in terms of the bigger picture, cycle, and fractal. Rel Flair said, or Reflare says, Brainlet update, please. Yeah, thank you, by the way, for the donation again. A lot of you guys are donating today, so I really appreciate all of the donations for today's live stream. Let's pull up Brainlet. And I believe that this is one that we were looking at on Mexi last time we did it. So let's do this Brainlet. And here we go. Yeah, so this coin is doing a wave 1 and a wave 2 structure. So we have our accumulation pattern right here. You can see we accumulated inside of a horizontal range for quite some time. Then we broke bullish out of that range and came back down to support. So this is basically forming our first L8 wave structure, our first L8 wave impulse. So all of this will be wave 1 and wave 2. And now wave 3 is coming for this market, just like we were talking about with SPX 6,900. So this coin is set up for a wave 3, and that wave 3 should be very, very vertical. Wave 3 is always going to be more vertical than wave 1 or wave 2. If you go to the Wikipedia page for L8 wave Wikipedia, if you go to the L8 wave principle page on Wikipedia, you can come down here and there's different rules for these L8 waves to help you better understand and count them and see what's happening so that you know whether you have the right count or the wrong count. And you can see wave 3 is usually the largest and the most powerful wave in the trend. Although some research suggests that in commodities markets, wave 5 is the largest. So that means that wave 3 is always going to be bigger than wave 1, but sometimes you're going to have wave 5 even bigger than wave 3. And this is what happens with crypto. So crypto trades like a commodities market, like gold or silver. And so that we have huge wave 3s and we have even bigger wave 5s in crypto. And that's what makes it so fun to trade and so profitable. And so here for Brainlet, you can see we're getting ready for wave 3, wave 4, and then wave 5 will come after that, which could be very large because it trades a lot like a commodities market does, crypto does. All right, so Lucifer wants me to cover NASDAQ 420. And thank you for the donation, by the way, Lucifer. I appreciate that. And yes, I will cover NASDAQ 420 for you. Let's pull up NASDAQ 420. What a name. Oh, man. The wonderful world of crypto, right? NASDAQ 420, SPX 6,900, Elon Musk coin, Doland Trump. Oh, man. The wonderful world of crypto. So yeah, this is looking really good here. You can see we've had our first cycle for this coin. So we had basically a major degree wave 1 and wave 2. So this is actually what's happened to a lot of the bigger meme coin names, even ones that people have forgotten about. They've done their first cycle and they're getting ready for their next cycle. So coins like Dog with Hat, for example, Dog with Hat did wave 1 and wave 2, and now it's breaking out for wave 3. So it did its first cycle and it's breaking out for a new cycle. And that's exactly what we see here with NASDAQ 420. We have our wave 1 and our wave 2 in our major degree cycle, and now we're breaking out for wave 3 in our major degree cycle as well. And if we zoom in a little bit here on the smaller time frame, you can see that wave 3 is starting here for this coin. So we have wave 1, wave 2. We're in wave 3, but wave 3 could go quite a bit higher here before we go for wave 4 and wave 5, right? And remember, these are all subwaves. So this is wave 1 and wave 2 of the larger degree count. And these are subwaves for wave 3 that we just counted right down here. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I know it can kind of seem a little bit hard to grasp at the start, but the more that you understand Elliott waves, the more it makes sense. So this coin does look bullish. It does look like we will continue for wave 3. And what we're actually going to be doing here is breaking out for a larger, even bigger wave 3 because of the larger degree Elliott wave set. Iron Mike says TGIF Dallin. What is up, Iron Mike? Thank you so much for tuning into today's live streams. JDayling6 says, my rocket bags got me like, wow. I know it's pretty exciting times right now for crypto to be breaking out. Don't forget, you guys, this is only the beginning. A lot of people will try to sell early. We're going to have one of the craziest crypto bull markets in the history of humanity. And in fact, not even just crypto bull markets, but bull markets, period, in the history of humanity. The only real question you have to ask yourself is, are you going to be part of it, or are you going to be left in the dust? That's really about it. Let's see. I made a Dogecoin video like yesterday or the day before. So go check out my most recent video on Dogecoin. Oh, wow. And you'll get my analysis on that. I made a recent video about it, so I'm not going to cover it today. JDling6 says, Dallin called it, by the way, just saying again. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy to have called the markets again. It's really fun to see technical analysis working, see all the stuff I've been learning playing out, and happy that I'm helping you guys make some money and everybody's getting rich on crypto. It's pretty awesome. So, all right, what other coins have you guys requested? SHX. Yes, let's do some stronghold analysis because this coin is becoming more and more to my attention, brought more and more to my attention. As people have told me about it, I didn't know about this coin for a long time. This coin is looking very good. So we do have the beginning of a bigger picture market cycle playing out. So you can see that we have a very nice trend here forming on this coin. Higher high, higher low pattern. So you can see our first high right here, then our higher low right here, higher high, higher low, and then even on the smaller time frames, we're starting a higher high, higher low pattern as well. Higher high, or not higher high, a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So this is forming an uptrend both on the bigger time frame and on the smaller time frame as well. The other thing that we can see here with Stronghold is the beginning of a bigger picture Elliott wave set as well. So we have our wave 1 and our 2 wave, and now we're going for wave 3, 4, and 5, and you can see that inside of wave 2 and wave 3, because Elliott waves are subdivided, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys have seen this a million times, but it's just, just so for the people that haven't seen it, Elliott waves are subdivided. So we have our wave 1, our wave 2, and in between wave 2 and 3, we have our subdivision of that Elliott wave count. So we'd have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 coming for Stronghold. Now, I believe that this parabolic trend could take us all the way to 25 cents or even higher. So even though I'm just kind of spitballing these Elliott waves right here, these are not my actual targets. I'm just showing you what's happening in terms of where we're at inside of the Elliott wave count. My actual target for Stronghold coin is at least 25 cents per coin before this massive mass adoption cycle is over. And it could go higher too. It's only worth a penny. And 25 cents is like only 25x. So we could go a lot higher than 25 cents per Stronghold. Can I check on gold? Yeah, let's check out gold. Everybody loves gold, right? Since the dawn of time, we've been fighting over it and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, all for that yellow good stuff. All right, let's pull up the monthly candlesticks here. You can see gold is in a huge uptrend. And from an Elliott wave perspective, what we just learned about Elliott waves is going to apply here to our analysis of gold. So back to the Elliott wave principle page here on Wikipedia, you can see wave 3 is usually the largest and the most powerful wave in the trend, although some research suggests that in commodity markets, wave 5 is the largest. So that gold is a commodity. So we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, which you can clearly see was bigger than wave 1 or 2, wave 4, and wave 5 is the largest in commodities markets. And so I believe gold could easily hit $5,000 per ounce or even higher by 2029 as we go for wave 5 here on gold. And just over the long term, like if you're talking, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, gold is one of those investments that you just can't go wrong. But in the short term, in the near future, over the next few years, I believe 5,000 per ounce will easily be hit by 2029, and we could exceed those targets in wave 5, as wave 5 is extended most of the time in commodities markets. Let's see here. Jasmy. I have not done Jasmy in forever. Let's do some Jasmy. I love this coin, by the way. This coin is awesome. Pull up the daily candlesticks and do a little analysis here. So what I have drawn on the chart here is still just as true. We just have to move this over just a little bit. Basically, for Jasmy, we have our 5-wave count here and our ABC correction down, which will be our larger degree wave 1 and wave 2. And we're getting ready for our larger degree wave 3 for Jasmy. So we completed wave 1, we completed wave 2, you can see all the subwaves, and now we're starting our larger degree wave 3 impulse for this coin. Fanta says we gonna be chicken rich. Yes, we will. Yes, we already are. Just knowing about the crypto markets and putting our eggs in the right baskets, we're rich, my friends. But yeah, we are gonna be chicken rich. That is exactly right, Fanta. Oh, man. Chill Guy. Yeah, let's pull up Chill Guy. So same thing kind of happening here with Chill Guy with the bigger cycles. So a lot of the bigger meme coins, the ones that are a little bit more established, have a bigger market cap. A lot of people have given up on these coins because they don't understand what's happening from a cycle perspective. So if you look over here at Jasmy, right, if we're Jasmy really, it did the same thing. We're just talking about different time scales. So this is from 2022 until 2025, where we had this huge correction and our wave 1 and our wave 2 for a new market cycle, a new Elliott set coming. Chill Guy did the same thing in a smaller amount of time. So you're talking about only, since November of 2024. But it did the same thing. It did the correction and our wave 1 and wave 2, and now we're preparing for wave 3. We've already started to see some early signs of it, and wave 4 and wave 5 coming for this coin. MSTR. You want me to cover MicroStrategy? Yes, sir. Absolutely. So this is very, very, very correlated to Bitcoin, of course, because that's what Michael Saylor's all about. He is a Bitcoin maxi, and I hold nothing against him, but I do believe altcoins have value and that they will be important as well. But, that's a whole philosophical discussion we're not going to get into today. But MicroStrategy stock looks extremely bullish. This thing is going to do what Bitcoin is going to do, which is go vertical, go parabolic, and there's a few reasons for this. First of all, look how much volume we have coming into this market. So volume precedes price. The other reason that MicroStrategy stock is going to do so good is because of the fact that it is so connected to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is going to do good in every crypto bull market. Even during alt season, Bitcoin goes nuts. So MicroStrategy will do very well. And in terms of where we're at in its cycle, we're very, very, very early on. Very early. I know it looks like it's gone high, but we're very early on in the cycle. If you check out something like Apple, and just from the perspective of cycles and fractals, and not from a perspective of fundamentals in this comparison, but from a perspective of where we're at in the cycle here, I would put MicroStrategy as somewhere like right here in its cycle. And if you look at what happened to Apple, you can see Apple went nuts. Apple went very, very vertical and still in a huge uptrend. So I believe we're very early on with our cycle for MicroStrategy, and that we will see a very parabolic run in this stock. Michael Saylor is definitely positioning himself to be a very, very wealthy man. By the way, a lot of people either hate him and love or love him, and to be honest with you, all I can say is he's definitely very smart. He's very smart. There's some things I really disagree with him about, but there's other things that I definitely agree with him about. Can you please look at Lavitia? Let's check it out, yeah. Lavitia AI. So we don't have any volume here. Let's see if we can find one with volume. Lavitia, maybe it's on Deck Screener. Lavitia. Am I spelling it right? Fanta says Sailor is just doing what we all would do if we had the capital, to be honest. Yeah, that's pretty true. Except I'd be putting more in altcoins, I'll be honest with you. I would still have a big stack of Bitcoin, but if I was putting as many billions of dollars into the markets as he is, I'd be putting more into altcoins as well. I wouldn't be so dogmatic about being a Bitcoin, being a Bitcoin maxi. I don't believe in Bitcoin maximalism, but he is a pretty smart guy. La VT AI. Yeah, it must be this one. There just isn't a lot of volume or data for this chart, so it's harder to do analysis. We do have an ABC correction here. Very choppy one, probably because the market cap is, I'm assuming, fairly small. Let's see if we can find it on CoinMarketCap and see what the market cap really is here. Lavitia. Oh, I had it. There we go. Lavitia AI. So yeah, we only have 2 million in market cap, so that's probably why. We don't have a good place to really look at it. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is part of the Theta. This is part of the whole Theta network thing. So yeah, this is really cool. The chart does look good. We do have an ABC correction here. Wave A, Wave B, and Wave C. So we're very undervalued. We probably have a lot of bullish divergence forming, and yes, we do. So all through this whole period where the trend has been down, the MACD has been trending up. So that's bullish divergence. And I expect a very strong reversal coming on Theta soon. Excuse me. And I'm expecting a very, very big run for Theta in this bull market. And Lavitia AI should run potentially even a bigger percentage gain because the market cap is so small. So this is a very good opportunity here with Lavitia AI. We're very oversold and we look like we're in a good buying zone. Fanta says, yeah, Sailor does have quite a myopic view of crypto industry as a whole. Yeah, he's very dogmatic and very he's very just focused on his way of seeing it. But he's definitely going to be super, super rich because of what he's doing. But yeah, he does have a very, very myopic view of the markets and a very kind of just, he's not quite open-minded enough if I was to, if I was to make any correction of his character, I would just say that. All right, B Cashy says, yo, what's up, my friend? Thank you for tuning in. And we have one more request here, and then I'm going to call it a day. Whole Bitcoiner says, grin. Crypto grin. Ooh, look at that breakout, baby. Starting to bottom out here. This is looking good. Let's take off the MACD. So this is a perfect ABC correction in the bigger time frame. On the daily, we have an A, B, C correction all the way down here, and we're starting to turn around. So this is looking really, really good, super undervalued. And we're starting that new Elliott wave set that always starts after an ABC correction. So wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 should be coming in this market very soon. This is what I'm telling you guys. Crypto is ready for something unimaginable. We are going to be completely blown away by the growth that we're going to see in these markets and the amount of upside that we're going to see. It's going to make a lot of people very, very rich. Very, very, very fast. So be ready for big things coming, and this coin looks very good. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's live stream. Happy Friday, everybody. I love and appreciate you. Thank you for all of the donations that I received today. I really, really appreciate that. And yeah, let's keep making money together. Let's keep printing profit in our portfolios. We got a lot of money to be made in the crypto markets. This is only the start. So if you feel like you haven't gotten rich yet, you still can. I'm telling you right now, you still can. You can totally get rich in these markets. And really, we're just getting started. So keep your faith, and we're going to make a lot of money together. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Bry Cass says, hit that 6-string like button like Dallin wanted dead or alive. I'm not exactly sure how to decrypt that message, but thank you for telling everybody to smash up the likes, my friend. Fanta says, stay awesome, my dude. Let's get this. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was about to sell my wrapped dog in November if I hadn't met your channel. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't sell your wrapped dog. Big things are coming for wrapped dog. It looks amazing. The chart is incredible. And I believe we're going to see a huge run on this coin. And it's going to be very, very profitable. Low market cap, high volume, perfect correction. Wrapped dog is one of those meme coins you guys are going to be able to make a lot of money on. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos and live streams. And as always, stay profitable out there.